Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's YouTube video. Today I'm going to be discussing to you guys how to play through hand traps. This is the topic that's super important in today's metagame, right? Because a lot of players are opting to play a lot of hand traps because a lot of these combo decks are putting a lot of pressure and putting in crazy turn 1 boards. So a lot of players have reverted to, playing a bunch of hand traps. And so the goal of today's video is to teach you how to make use of your hands and play them as best as you can to bait your opponent, to use a hand trap or essentially to play through them. So without further ado, we're gonna watch this first replay where I legitimately played through a Nibiru. And that's something that this deck has critiques about, like, oh, you can't play through Nibiru. Like, how do you play through Nibiru? Well, I'm gonna show you. Anyways, let's start off with my hand. You see here, I have a pretty decent hand. I have 3 really good cards and 2 really bad cards. So droplets and sphere are really bad, in my starting hand if I don't have combo. But thankfully, because I do have the Rhoda, I do have combo, so this is going to be okay. And because the deck is essentially just 1 and 2 card combos, you get to see here how this deck functions. So we're gonna go activate Rhoda, and we're gonna search Neospace Connector. The reason why we search Neospace Connector, because even if we get Gamut on Neospace Connector, we still have an extender with Oliver technically. If we get Ash by Neospace Connector and we still have an extender, I think if we get Gamut on Neospace Connector, it's gonna be pretty hard to push through it. I think the only way I see is pushing through it is, yeah, it's gonna be really hard to push through that. I think it's actually impossible to push through it if they Gamut us. But I think it is pretty good in terms of normal summon. You have to put him on better have the Gamma this time. Usually you can play through the Gamma, but I needed one additional extender, one additional fire monster in my hand, and I can actually play through it. But in this case, because we have 2 dead cards, we actually don't get that. So we're gonna go normal summon Neospace Connector, summon the Dolphin, and then I'm gonna showcase you guys why Dolphin is better than Sublimation Knight, because a lot of people are just trying to decide which ones to play. And well, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Dolphin is just way better because it gives you public knowledge of your opponent's hand. And that is something that Sublimation Knight cannot give you. Also, the Sub Knight doesn't bait hand traps, while the Neospace Connector guarantees you baiting hand traps. And while there are pros and cons relating to the fact that you can, Renault under Sub Knight and you can't Renault under Connector, there's literally no other restriction in the entire deck that says you must control a Fire Warrior monster to play. And I think that's one of the biggest fallacies that people fall into, and essentially tying these false synergies. And even though it is a 1-card combo, they are both 1-card combos. You don't want to play Sublimation Knight as a 1-card combo, because at the end of the day, you have combo almost every single hand anyway, so you want to play more and better extenders in the deck rather than just playing more starters, right? Because more starters doesn't advance your game state, and you don't have problems getting to a starter anyways. Because think about it, you have 1 Rhoda, you have 3 Chalice, Heritage of the Chalice, you have 3 Durandal. You're almost always opening up the 1 or 2 card combo on top of the cards itself that you could have hard drawn. So it's just the deck functions kind of like Elemental Heroes, where they have 3 Ecall. Well, we have 3 Rhoda. We technically have 6 Rhodas in archetype, so it's just really broken. Anyways, I'm gonna quit yabbering. We're gonna go Dolphin, and look, I see his hand, and what does he have? He has a Nibiru. So watch me play through Nibiru and force his Nibiru out. Here I'm gonna make Soul Day, and then Soul Day is gonna trigger and then add me Ogler, because it's a really strong follow-up. I can then use the effect of Soul Day to send 2 and summon Genba. I can then make Link Ross, and then at this point he has to Nibiru me, because if he does not, I will make Herald and then play with Oliver. I would then just basically activate Durandal, or no, activate Durandal, send Durandal, summon Oliver. And you see that play right there essentially means that I can play through the Nibiru. And this is how you play through Nibiru. But I would not have made this play initially if I didn't know he had the Nibiru in the first place. So Dolphin giving me that knowledge and that information about the card in his hand is so key and crucial here. So at this point, he has to Nibiru, right? We put him on, you have to Nib here, or else you fall into Herald, because Genba plus 1/1 is 4. At this point, look what I do now. I then use Oliver's effect. I can dump the Olgier that I search. I want to keep the Durandal in my hand as an additional extender in case, so that I can extend further. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I then use that effect, and I can add Renault. I can then use Renault effect to add back the Living Fossil as an additional extender, because the reason why you send Living Fossil and Smoke Grenade purposely is so that you can actually add back the Living Fossil with Renault, and so now you have a monster reborn. So watch this. You can then make Hockey Fibrax, Fiber Summons Jet, and then you can just play fully. And this is like pretty much like full combo. So you can summon the O-line token. And so you just see at this point, like, I'm just gonna like try to like combo off on this guy. I can then use Jet Synchron's effect to dump the droplet to make Herald. And then at this point I can activate Living Fossil and then use Living Fossil and all of them to make Charlemagne. And the reason why I make Charlemagne here is because I want to hand loop him an additional card, because I know that he has Pankratops and Cyber Emergency in his hand, and so that I essentially wanted to make sure that he doesn't get any way to like play at all. And so you see right here, I Smoke Grenade him for his Pankratops, so he has no way to put pressure against my board. And then I have a, first of all, he can attack both of my monsters. So like the reason why you don't make Herald there is because if he attacks over, he can attack over the Herald with Nibiru, and then you have a Savage that's 40-50, and then he might not know this, but like when you equip Roland to the Charles, it actually goes up to 4,000 attacks, because it's at 3,500 now because you equipped from the deck. So essentially Charles is at 35 and this is at 40-50, so like there is no way for him to like try to enter battle phase and bait out Roland or like anything like that. And so like you can just see here, this is like a winning game state, and like I have one negate for like, I have one negate and one pop, so like there's literally nothing he can do or top deck to like advance this game state. And so that's kind of like the power of this deck, guys. And then of course at end phase, Roland surges you, Gearfried, and I was able to full combo even through Nibiru and with like, you know, not the best hand. And so I wanted to showcase you guys like, you know, the criticality of like information. Anyways, we're now going to go into replay number 2. Alright guys, we're now at replay number 2, and this scenario, I'm actually going to show you how hard opening the Aqua Dolphin is actually not a break compared to hard opening Squeak Knight. And in this case, you'll literally see how Aqua Dolphin it's going to bait out so much interruption, because look at this. I'm going to go normal summon Dolphin, use Dolphin effect, pitch the Fireflint Lady because I already have Oliver, and I can Living Fossil back the Fireflint, and he's going to do what? Impermit. So guarantee baiting out a hand trap. And then at this point, I can Living Fossil back the Fireflint, and then boom, make a Soul Day. And even though he, you know, Ghost Motor and Moonlit Chill this, it doesn't matter. Why? Because I have an additional extender. I can send the Renault, make Oliver, and I play through essentially a quote-unquote imperm, a pseudo-imperm on my Soul Day, and now I get to Soul Day and I full combo. And so like you guys see that like there's actually like a lot of thought behind like the Infernoble deck, and it's actually a very hard combo deck to play. It's one of the hardest combo decks to play because there's so many different variations of the combo. You see here, I actually sent 2 for Genba, but there's other combos where you send 4 for Oliver, and there's other combos where you send 1 for Renault. And so depending on how you like play through it, like you can determine the lines of play. And like you literally see here that like I'm playing through everything. This is legitimately playing through everything. Get like right there, Violent Sphere, add back Renault. And the cool thing about Renault is you're gonna make a Fire Warrior later, so Renault is actually gonna plus you. Yup. Make that, draw 1, and I'm just gonna hand loop him too. On top of everything else. So you guys already saw like how nuts this was, like, and that essentially wanted to show you guys how to play through like multiple interruptions. We're now gonna go into like replay number 3 and showcase you guys like more and more examples. I just want to keep showing you guys examples of how like I play through like so much interruption. Alright guys, this is replay number 3, and I did open the best. I opened a Stoleful, Fireflint, Double Gearfried, and Talons, and I'm gonna show you how like in this case how Talons is like a really powerful card. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make Soul Day here. Soul Day is gonna automatically get gamma, and to be very careful, he gamma the Soul Day's effect to search, and that's actually gonna be huge. So normally if I had any other extender and like basically like an equip spell or like heritage equip spell or anything else, I could technically summon Gearfried and then like have another extender and play through the gamma anyways. So like technically, like if I have like Renault plus Gearfried and an equip spell, I could have actually played through the gamma. But then in this case, I have to actually use the talents. And the reason why I don't look at his hand and choose one card from it and shuffle it into the deck and instead choose to draw 2 here is mainly because like math, right? I know that I have literally 10 cards in my deck that I can draw. That means like around a quarter of my deck that I can draw. So I have around like 25% chance, and that percentage goes even higher because I'm drawing 2 per card to essentially see what I'm looking for. And in this case, I took the risk of 3 TTT instead of looking at his hand, because if I can get to combo, I see his hand anyways. And I'm literally missing 1 extender to full combo him. And you're going to see, all I got was 1 extender, which is the Randall, and that's all I needed. The red reboot literally does not matter. And look, guys, I'm going to show you, like, can anyone figure out how you play through, like, how the heck do you play through your normal summon, first of all, and your Soul Day already getting interrupted? If you want to pause the video and give it a shot based on this hand, what you do from here, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, if you guys unpause this video, activate the Randall, use the Randall's effect, and get Renault. You might be thinking, Pack, what do you mean? Why did you do this? Because you're not going to be able to, you know, special summon this card from your hand anyways. Like, this makes no sense. Well, because an equipped spell is now in the graveyard, you can actually banish it off Gearfried, then special summon Renault, and then add back a Soulful, and then use a Soulful's effect to banish the Flint Lady to summon the Soulful itself. And so in this situation here, like, you can then make Soul Day and then just play through the rest of his board. And so you send 2, make Genba, and then you see here, like, I keep going for the play again. Yep, add back Phoenix Blade, equip the Phoenix Blade, make Herald as well. So I'm just making as much interruptions as I can. And the reason why it's really important that you make Herald here is mainly for the fact that Herald, when you like rip a card out the opponent's hand, if it's a monster, Herald actually banishes it. So if you're playing against a rock player, you want to set up Herald and Charlemagne so you can actually banish the Block Dragon from their hand, which is actually really, really nuts with Herald. And so you see here, I make Charlemagne and the Omega. And then Omega is also going to be very clutch because it can actually shuffle back any card for me. Yep, pop, banishes Ecclesia. And there it is. There it is. I see his entire hand. I know exactly what to negate with Herald. I know exactly what to pop with Charles. And I know what exactly to negate monster-wise with Gearfried. And because I set up Herald, Gearfried, and Charles, I have essentially 3 interruptions. And I looked at his hand. I'm like, yo, this guy, unless he top selects Alistair, there's literally no way he actually plays through all of this interruption, which is actually the nuts. And so that's pretty much it, guys, for all the replays. I'm currently actually day 2 in Luxury Championship Series number 5, or the LCS tournament number 5. I made day 2 with an X1 record. Only loss in Swiss was to a Dragon Link deck, and I am currently playing the Infernoble deck, guys. So if you are interested to see more of this live gameplay, come check me out at tomorrow, Sunday at 11 a.m. EST, where I will actually be playing day 2 of the event. So people like Shupinger also made day 2. You know, Ryan made day 2, Gabe made day 2. So a lot of really strong players are in day 2, and I'm really, really excited to be playing against them, and you know, eventually hopefully making top cut and showing you guys like essentially the power of this Infernoble deck. But at the end of the day, guys, thank you so much for all your support. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. And like I said, guys, at 5,000 subs, I'm going to be doing a crazy giveaway. A lot more information is going to be released. I have a lot of big, exciting news to share, more sponsors. It's going to be nuts. Like a lot of big announcements, guys. And also stay tuned for the deck profile. Sorry, guys. The reason why I've been kind of like holding off on the deck profile for this deck is because I was waiting to get the cards and do a physical deck profile. Like I want you guys to be able to like see the, you know, beauty of like these physical cards, especially because, you know, like during Rona season, a lot of these deck profiles are now on Dueling Book, and I figured you guys might enjoy that, you know, that fresh take, and that, you know, having the cards physically. I'll also be showing off some combos, you know, using real cards as well, so you can like, you know, have, if you're like a visual learner, maybe you learn better that way. And so at the end of the day, guys, thank you like so much again, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. See you later. Peace.